We are the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Declan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes like serial killers and the random one-off murder. We will tell you about bizarre occurrences like alien abductions and monsters in the dark. And we just might get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories.
At the very end of every show, we like to lighten things up and cleanse the palate from the tragic and terrifying stories. So we end our time with a chaser. You might get to hear crazy stories about our pets or just silly movie recommendations.
Give us a listen. We are the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast.
Welcome to the What the Fuck Is That podcast, where we ask the age-old question of what the fuck is that? I'm your host, Jess.
I'm Jen.
And we are going to sound like shit this episode.
Yeah, we are.
Not because of mics or anything, but because it has been extremely fucking stupid windy.
Yeah.
Like, ugh.
It's really bad.
My eyes are itchy. I'm all congested. This was after just sitting outside for a couple of minutes, and I want to die.
Yeah, I start sneezing up a storm when I go and walk patients outside because we do curb training and like uneven training, surface training. And even just the 5 minutes that we are outside, I am absolutely like dead when I come back inside.
It's the eye itchiness that I think is the worst. It's just, ugh.
Oh yeah, and then with contacts.
Oh no, I didn't even think of that.
It sucks. I can't tell you, like, I have contact solution with me everywhere.
There's kind of have to.
Yeah, there's one in my car, there's one in my backpack, there's one in my bathroom. Like, I constantly have to have my contact solution. And actually, the other day, I couldn't find it, and my contact, like, came out because I was rubbing my eye because it was so itchy. I was like, fuck. So, I just had to put that shit back in dry. It hurt so bad. Sure. And I mean, finally it like, you know, like my tears came in because it was stinging. So like finally it like watered up and everything.
You had to like raw dog your eye.
I did. Oh, it was bad. Ugh. I mean, I raw dog life every day. So what's the difference?
Here, like now my eyes are itchy. Like,
well, stop thinking about it.
I can't. You just told me about itchy eyes, and now my eyes are like, hey, hey, hey.
Like what?
I'll do it a third time for you, too.
Please don't.
Is this what you like? God damn it. Okay.
All right. Well. This is obviously what the episode is going to be like tonight, huh?
Everyone's like, what did we just listen to?
Honestly, we don't even know.
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I keep getting distracted by our screen because I went because I wanted it. I went with the Slytherin common room. Just kind of like an ambiance vibes.
I thought we decided it was a layer.
That is true. Yeah, so if you listen to some of our other stuff on other places, we decided that all the common rooms are not actually common rooms. And I agreed on this with Jenny, who has not done Harry Potter things.
Yeah, no, I have not read the Harry Potter books. I've seen one Harry Potter movie, and it was the second one. That's about it.
Which is not even the best one, but
I don't know. That's all I got for you, my dude.
Yeah, so, and she agreed with me. So, I mean,
yeah, I've been on the Harry Potter ride at Universal.
I don't think that really counts.
Oh, okay.
I don't think it's the same unless you know what's going on.
I mean, I get bits and pieces from TikTok and stuff and like social media, so I have a feeling of what's going on.
I mean, at this point, there's enough, like, it's been out long enough in the media sphere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
But anyways, okay, so back to this.
Yes.
So, Slytherin's common room is called a lair. Clearly.
Yeah. Obviously.
Duh. Easy. Hufflepuffs are a den.
Yep.
Because how adorable and cozy. They just have all of the snacks out on the table. Gryffindors are big fucking nerds. And just call them common rooms.
Yeah.
They're not going to come up with anything fancy.
No, of course
That would
not.
mean they would have to be creative. Out of your goddamn mind. Every time I think of a Gryffindor, I think of a sports ball dude.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, well, Ravenclaw, what can Ravenclaw be? And I'm like, clearly that's the Ravenclaw nest.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Can't forget that.
Jeez, Jessica.
So we have the lair, the nest, the den, and then the common room. Can you tell which one's what house we belong to just based off this?
I wonder if people would get it right.
I don't know. We should make that a poll.
We should. Later.
I'll do it when we're done.
Okay. Great.
Great. Okay. I guess we talked about allergies. We talked about Harry Potter. Like, I don't know what there is else to talk about today. So let's get on into this week's episode.
Let's do it.
And if you like whatever the fuck this is, be sure to head over to our Instagram. Our Instagram is WTF is that podcast. Over there you can find the link to our beautiful little link tree that has all kinds of different ghosties that can take you to all kinds of different places, like our Patreon and our Amazon wishlist and our TikTok, and to our RSS feed that will show you all of the places you can listen to us. Spoiler alert, it's all of them. And while you're checking those out, you might as well just go over to Apple Podcasts and give us a like and give us like a little review, and then head over to Spotify and follow us and give us a like, because that just lets all of the playing gods, deities, people know that you love us and you think other people would love us also. And as always, the very best way to help us grow is just by word of mouth. So let's say you are also in the mood for some ambiance show, and so you go onto YouTube and you're just chilling and you look through the comments, because sometimes it's fun to look through comments, like sometimes it's fun to look through reviews of random things, and people are just talking and they're like asking for reviews on other things to listen and recommendations, and you go, oh my god, I love this podcast called WTF is that podcast, and you tell them all about us, and then they come over and then they go on to another set of comments section and they're like, hey, by the way, you should listen to this. And then all of those people also leave reviews, because like, how awesome would that be? And then you help us grow just super organically. And with that, let's head on into this week's episode.
Hey, Jess.
Hey, Jen.
Have you ever heard of Annabelle?
Who the fuck is Annabelle?
I'd love to tell you.
I feel like she's gonna come get me because I said that.
Probably,
I don't why thank you for that.
You're welcome. Okay, but seriously, like, what do you know about Annabelle?
I know she's a doll, and she's not the actual doll that the movie depicts her as, because Hollywood needed to up the creep factor.
Yes, this is true.
And it has to do with the Warrens, who we're going to eventually cover.
Yes. And, I mean, I think we've already made it very clear in previous episodes, but we do have certain opinions of the Warrens. I have no doubt that it will come up at some point in this episode.
Oh, yeah. And then they'll come up again when we do the whole episode on them. Woo!
That one probably will be unfiltered. So you did mention that Annabelle is not the porcelain doll that we all know and love from the Hollywood movie.
No, because clearly you have to make it creepier. God forbid. God forbid.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Okay, so, well, I should say it first. Annabelle is actually a Raggedy Ann doll.
Yeah.
Which, either way, is creepy to me.
Really? I think they're adorable.
I had a Raggedy Ann as a child, and I don't know, like, it was just not my vibe. I kept her in a closet.
Oh no, you're also just not really a doll person in general.
This is true. I used to take the heads off my Barbies, so...
Okay, Wednesday Addams. Jesus Christ.
My cousin and I melted their hair. Hers was more of an accident.
And you wonder why you're like this?
Hers was more of an accident. She was trying to straighten out the hair for her Barbie doll, not realizing that it would melt. So hers was an accident as to where when I found out you could do that, I continued to do that.
I'm sure that was great for that flat iron that you were using. I'm sure that just turned out so well.
Yeah, we ended up tossing it after a while.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That now ask me if I'm surprised.
You know these things already. I don't know why you are acting surprised. You have known these things for 14 years. Anyways, yeah, I've always thought Raggedy Ann is creepy. I think porcelain dolls are creepy, mostly because a lot of porcelain dolls are haunted.
Yep. I think it's because they look the most lifelike, and so it's an easier vessel.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It just feels more like them.
And because it's easier to get to children.
That is true.
You know? That kind of takes it into account.
Or easier to pretend you're a child.
Exactly. The original story of Annabelle is that this Raggedy Ann was gifted to a 28-year-old nursing student, only known as Donna, by her mother in 1970 as a birthday gift.
I know what my grown-ass child would love. A Raggedy Ann doll. Did she tell you this? Or, were we just making assumptions about our whole-ass child with a whole-ass career?
Her mother reports picking up the doll from a simple hobby store. So it wasn't like it was a garage sale. It wasn't like it was a thrift store.
Oh, it was like a brand new doll.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes it better or worse. Because at least if it's from a secondhand store or a yard sale, then it has a reason to be haunted. Maybe something happened or it was at a certain place. If it's just from a store...
Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't make sense, and it is a little concerning.
Yeah, because where is that coming from?
Yeah, where is this entity coming from?
Yeah, that it took over that vessel that is brand new.
Exactly. Well, we'll get into that. Okay? Donna kept the seemingly innocent-looking doll in her bedroom. However, a few days later, things started to change.
Oh, days. So it wasn't even that long.
No. A few days after the doll's arrival, strange things started happening and scaring Donna and her roommate, Angie. At first, the doll's arms and legs would be positioned differently than how she had originally been placed, and then the doll would be in a totally new location. So it started off very simple and very maybe I did leave her this way.
Or maybe I brushed up against her while I was leaving.
Exactly. It's like, I thought I left her this way, but maybe I'm wrong. To now, the doll is not where I left her at all.
And honestly, I think it makes it worse that it's a Raggedy Ann doll, because Raggedy Ann doll, for people who don't know, is like a flimsy doll.
Yeah.
It's not a structured doll. It can't stand.
No.
At least for a porcelain doll, I could picture in my head how it's getting up and moving around.
Yeah, as to where it is more terrifying what my mind is making up right now with the Raggedy Ann doll.
Where it's just crawling across the floor.
That
inchworming.
That, or it's trying to stand up like it's flopping over and back and up and back and up with each step.
All the options are bad.
All of them.
There are no good options on that.
No, not at all. Don't like it. Don't care for it. Anywho, let's continue to horrify ourselves. The doll would be in Donna's room and end up in the living room when the girls returned, or would originally be placed on the couch and Donna would find the doll in her room later that day, even though the bedroom door had been closed all day.
No.
Yeah.
How are you unlocking doors? How are you getting in that door?
I don't know. It's creepy to think about, right? After a while, Donna and her roommate would find notes written on parchment paper. The notes would be in a child's handwriting. Typically, the note would read, "Help me," or "Help us." If this wasn't concerning enough, the girls had no idea where the parchment paper was coming from, considering there wasn't any in the house.
I'm getting, like, the heebie-jeebies, like the creepy crawlies, the oogie boogies.
Yeah.
No thank you.
This is a very disturbing story.
Where is it getting the paper?
I have no idea.
Why are you like this?
One specific incident scared Donna so much the girls knew they needed to seek help after this. One day, Donna came home to find the doll on her bed. However, she immediately knew something wasn't right. Despite being overwhelmed by fear, Donna inspected the doll to find there was a red liquid substance on the back of the doll's hands and chest in what appeared to be blood.
No, 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 no.
Not knowing what to do, the girls contacted a medium and performed a seance.
That's it? No, we don't. It's just blood. We don't know whose blood, what's blood, where's blood.
No, there is nothing. Like, she could not find the source of this. Like,
No.
that's just what it appeared to be, was blood.
No. No.
Yeah.
That's enough. That's, like, exactly too much.
I feel like it gets worse still. So this is where we're introduced to the spirit of Annabelle Higgins. Where, if you've watched the Conjuring series, you know who Annabelle Higgins is.
Does she explain herself who she is?
Not herself, like, she talks through to the medium, and, like, the medium is saying all of it.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So it's not like the Bell Witch where she's like, "Here I am, bitches," and
No.
like gives her whole backstory.
No, it's like the entities talking through the medium.
I see, okay.
Yeah. According to the medium, Annabelle Higgins was a young girl who lived on the property long before the apartments were built. Annabelle was a 7-year-old girl whose lifeless body was found in the field where the apartments now stood. The spirit told the medium she felt comforted by Donna and Angie and wanted to stay with them and be loved. Feeling for the young girl and her story, Donna gave permission to the girl to inhabit the doll.
Hey, guess what? Spirits don't have to tell you the truth. They're also liars. It's not cops. It's not like, you know that myth with cops?
Yeah.
Where you go, if you're a cop, you have to tell me. No, they don't. Spirits don't also have to tell you the truth.
Oh, it gets so much worse, because we're going to find out a little fact in just a little bit.
Don't tell things they can inhabit other things.
Yeah.
That's
don't
just
do that.
not a good idea.
It's not a smart thing.
No.
And again, we'll get to why in a little bit, okay?
Other than Donna was a big dumb.
Yeah, other than that. Now, the girls had a friend named Lou that had been around since the doll's arrival. Lou, however, was never fond of the doll, warning Donna it was evil and to get rid of it. Despite how Lou felt, Donna felt an attachment to the doll and obviously kept it.
Of course.
However, one night, Lou woke up from a deep sleep in panic after having a recurring nightmare. This time, something was different. Lou was awake, but he couldn't move.
No.
Looking around the room, everything seemed normal until he looked down towards his feet. At the end of the bed stood Annabelle.
Again, it's so scary because she shouldn't be able to stand.
Slowly, she climbed up his legs and onto his chest before stopping. Seconds later, Annabelle began strangling Lou.
With just mushy little hands. Just, could you imagine, like, being choked out by mushy little hands and be like, really, is this how it's gonna fucking end right now?
Right? Like, that's terrifying. Being paralyzed, he couldn't fight back and blacked out. The next morning, Lou woke convinced it wasn't all a dream and was determined to get rid of the doll and whatever possessed it. Unfortunately, this wouldn't be the only encounter Lou would have with Annabelle. The next day, while Donna and Lou were looking over maps to plan a road trip, there was rustling coming from Donna's room, echoing through the eerily quiet apartment.
No.
Lou decided to investigate the disturbance, waiting for the noise in the room to stop before entering. He turned on the light, and the room was completely empty, with Annabelle tossed on the floor in the corner. As he approached Annabelle, Lou had this distinct impression someone was behind him. He quickly spun around to find nobody there. However, in that same moment, he began grabbing for his chest, doubled over in pain.
Oh no, Lou!
He had been cut and was bleeding. Opening his blood-soaked shirt, there were 7 distinct claw marks. 3 were vertical and 4 were horizontal.
Ooh, I don't like that it's in different numbers.
Almost immediately, these scratches healed, half gone by the next day and fully gone by day 2.
Yeah, no.
After Lou's last encounter, Donna now believed the spirit of Annabelle to be a demon instead of a young girl. She finally sought out a real expert.
Yeah, honestly, because I don't know who you were going to before, but no one should have let you do that.
Yeah. Donna contacted an Episcopal? Is that how you say it?
Episcopal?
Episcopal? Okay. Donna contacted an Episcopal priest by the name of Father Hagen. Father Hagen felt this was a spiritual matter and felt he needed to contact a higher authority. Father Hagen contacted Father Cook, who immediately contacted the Warrens.
Of course.
Now,
because the Warrens just have like that weird little connection when the church is like, I don't know, man.
I don't know what to do. Maybe
Come
this is
take a
up
look
your
at
alley.
it. Yeah.
Like, good luck.
Because they are, we'll talk about it when we get to their episode, but they are highly religious.
Yeah.
That's the thing I think people don't realize because it's not really a thing now. But they were, like...
Devoted Catholics.
Devout Catholics, yeah.
100%. Now, you hear us talking about the Warrens. If you haven't heard of the Warrens, to make a long story short, Ed Warren was a self-proclaimed demonologist who studied demonology and exorcisms and other shit like that.
Mm-hmm. Quote-unquote exorcisms.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it another time. It's fine.
We'll get there. Okay? Save your soapbox. Save it.
That was me putting it to the corner.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Lorraine Warren was Ed's wife who had psychic abilities.
She was an absolute goddess.
Yes, we love her. Ed and Lorraine took immediate interest in the case, and after talking with the 2 girls and Lou, the couple determined the doll wasn't possessed by a human spirit, but was being manipulated by an inhuman presence.
These goddamn diamonds.
Now here's the explanation that I was telling you about.
Okay.
They explained human spirits don't possess inanimate objects, but rather other human beings. Inhuman spirits attach themselves to a place or object, which is what happened with Annabelle when Donna gave the spirit permission to inhabit the doll.
Okay, that tracks.
Yeah.
I can get that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard that before, but that makes sense to me.
I've heard variations of it because do I think that ghosts can really possess people whenever they want to? No, because I've come in contact with enough to know that
we would have been fucked so many times.
So many times. But I know enough to know that they usually seek out those who can hear them or talk to them or see them.
Yeah, they really
rather
don't
than
do anything.
Exactly, rather than get into something else.
Yeah.
So I can understand that part where it's like, okay, it's not a human spirit because a human spirit wouldn't want to attach to something like that.
Oh, yeah. There's also the fact that, like, a daemon never really had a quote-unquote soul to begin with.
Exactly.
So it couldn't take over a... Like, I think it'd be more comfortable attaching to an entity that's just a husk.
Well, not only that, but also I've read research that they have to ask for permission. They have to get permission.
Just do it.
Yeah, they can't just possess someone or an object just for the the hell of it.
Just for funsies.
Yeah. The spirit that attached to the doll was looking to possess a human host, so this particular spirit was the infestation phase. The spirit would move the doll, hoping to draw attention from the girls, and when they brought in the medium, the spirit was able to manipulate the girls' emotions by telling the medium a story of being a scared, lost little girl.
It's always those things that they can draw you in the most with, which is usually scared, lost little girls.
Yeah. It is almost always a child they mimic.
Oh, 100%.
And it is the scariest thing.
It's so easy to feel bad for a child.
Exactly. Like, I mean, not to say that you have to be heartless. Like, even some of the most heartless people in the world still, like, give in to children, like, scared, lost children.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you... I don't know how you would say no. Like, obviously we know better, but...
But if you didn't know and you were introduced to all this for the first time, I can understand, which I think is why it happens so often.
Exactly.
But at the same time, it happens so often that, like...
It's like...
No, let's use our little noggins a little bit. Think about this.
It's what a friend would like to say as natural selection at work.
Yeah.
Anywho, had these experiences continued by 2 or 3 more weeks, the spirit probably would have completely possessed one of the girls. If not possessed, then harmed or killed one of them.
My bet's on Donna because she was so attached to it.
Oh, yeah. And it's already harmed Lou, so would probably kill him in that sense.
Oh, 100% to get him away from everything, because it sounds like him and Donna are close if they're planning a road trip and all that stuff.
I think they were seeing each other.
That makes sense.
Yeah. After their investigation, the Warrens believed it was appropriate to have a recitation of an exorcism blessing by Father Cook to cleanse the apartment. So this is a quote directly from Ed Warren. The Episcopal blessing of the home is a wordy 7-page document that is distinctly positive in nature. Rather than specifically expelling evil entities from the dwelling, the emphasis is instead directed toward filling the home with the power of the positive and of God.
Which I kind of like. I kind of love that.
Yeah. Even though Father Cook was uncomfortable with his role in the exorcism, he agreed to perform the 7-page ritual, leading the Warrens to become confident the entity wouldn't reside in the home any longer. At Donna's request, the Warrens took Annabelle with them. Ed placed the doll in the back seat, and the couple agreed not to take the interstate in case the demon still possessed the doll.
Which is smart.
Yes. Their suspicions were correct when, at each dangerous curve, the car swerved and stalled, causing the power steering and brakes to fail, almost causing repeat collisions. Ed finally reached into the back seat, into his bag, and took a vial of holy water out. He doused the doll, making a sign of the cross over it, and immediately the disturbance stopped, allowing the Warrens to return home safely.
Yeah, if you're not gonna fuck with somebody, don't let it be the Warrens.
Exactly.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, great last-ditch effort, I guess, but no.
And it's funny because the scene of when they take Annabelle with them is actually very different than what actually happens, obviously, because it's Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I don't remember it, to be honest with you.
I'm pretty sure they completely stall, and, like, Lorraine ends up seeing all these spirits that start coming towards them and, like, attacking them.
Oh, that's fun.
And then they clear out at, like, the last second or something like that.
Love that for them.
Yeah. So, of course, Hollywood has to make it dramatic, but I don't know. I feel like that's dramatic in itself.
Just to really hammer in, guys, she can see ghosts. By the way, she can see ghosts.
When the Warrens arrived at home, Ed sat the doll in a chair next to his desk. The doll reportedly levitated several times before falling completely limp. Yeah. Fun, right?
Like it's having a little temper tantrum?
Basically, yeah. Yeah, that's essentially what it is.
A diamond temper tantrum.
As weeks went by, the doll would show up in various rooms of the house. While the Warrens were away, they would lock the doll in the outer office building, only to return to find Annabelle sitting comfortably upstairs in Ed's easy chair.
So, how old was their daughter during this? Because I just imagine, like, her playing with the doll, not realizing.
I'm pretty sure their daughter was an adult.
Oh, okay.
By the time that Annabelle came.
Could you imagine how creepy that would be, though?
Oh, 100%. They do make her a child in the movies. If I'm not mistaken, she was not a child. I don't believe she was.
I don't know. I don't remember how late Annabelle is in there.
I can't remember either. I mean, I said 70s, right? So they would have already been in, like, their older...
Yeah, they would have been older.
So, yeah, I'm pretty sure their daughter was...
Because I think Ed died in, like, the 80s.
Something like
or
that.
Or the 90s.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure their daughter was an adult by now.
I'm sure. Anyways, but that would be spooky if you just came home and saw your daughter playing with this diamond doll.
Oh, yeah. 100%. The doll would show extreme hatred for clergymen who would come to the house.
Well, yeah, no shit.
You
don't fucking say.
In one instance, Father Jason Bradford, a Catholic exorcist, picked up the doll seated in the chair and said, "You're just a rag doll, Annabelle. You can't hurt anyone."
First of all, pause. He has a great name. That is...
Jason Bradford?
Yes.
Okay.
That... I don't know why, but you said that, and I thought of the TikTok audio. I want to fuck a priest. A good one? Yes. Catholic? Yes.
What?
Do you want to fuck a priest or do you want to fuck God? Can you fuck God? Oh, yes. Have you not heard this? It's one of my favorites.
No, what goes on your TikTok, dude?
I just love, do you want to fuck a priest or do you want to fuck God? Can you fuck God? Oh, yes.
Can you?
Oh, yes. And secondly, about this priest who I think is hot in my head. I don't know why, just with that name. But, like, don't taunt a demon. What are you doing? Why are you like this? You should know better.
Why are you like this?
Just a little slap with a little ruler. No. Make better choices. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
I just see Edna mode. Pull yourself together.
Pretty much. Stop harassing demons.
Ed exclaimed, "That's one thing you better not say." Leaving an hour later, Lorraine made the priest promise to drive safely and call when he returned home safe. A few hours later, Bradford called explaining his brakes had failed and was involved in a near-fatal car crash, totaling his car.
What an odd coincidence.
Yup. Just wait.
You know, if I had a nickel for every time this doll tried to cause a car crash, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Oh, just wait. Since being placed in the case, Annabelle no longer appeared to move. However, she's thought to be responsible for a young man's death.
Yikes.
The young man and his girlfriend arrived to the museum on his motorcycle. After hearing Ed's account of the doll, the man defiantly went up to the case and began banging on it, insisting that if the doll could scratch people, then he also wanted to be scratched.
Why? Why are you guys doing this? Like, what is wrong with you? If you need attention, we can give you attention, but we don't need to fuck with demons in order to get it. It's okay, just ask. Use your big boy words.
Natural selection at its best.
Just use your big boy words.
Clearly he was never taught that. Ed told the man he needed to leave. On the way home, the man lost control of his motorcycle, hitting head-on into a tree. The man was instantly killed, but his girlfriend survived and was hospitalized for over a year. When asked about the accident, the girlfriend recounts laughing about the doll when they lost control. Ed warned, "You don't challenge evil, that no man is no more powerful than Satan."
Yeah, what did you think was gonna happen? Really?
Yeah.
You don't fuck with things outside of your control.
No. Especially if you don't understand it, and especially hearing how many stories, bad stories that have happened, like...
And you're getting told by a demonologist, which, as many issues as I have with Ed, he is very knowledgeable
Yes.
about demons and demonology.
That is one thing. He does his research.
He's a very intelligent man. Does he use that in the best way all the time?
No.
Absolutely not. But here we are. Anyways, if he tells you, don't do this, and you're showing up to his place and you know, like, Ed and Lorraine Warren are not an unknown name at that time.
No.
It's not like you wouldn't have heard of them and gone knowing what they were going to have in there to then taunt that.
You have to sign a waiver to go into this museum.
Exactly.
You have to sign a waiver saying that you are not going to hold them liable because things can attach to you there. Things can happen to you after leaving all of this. Like,
they can't protect you from everything.
Exactly. Like, you are voluntarily going into this, and they are telling you what could happen.
It's the same with the Zach Bagans Museum. Like, so many people will end up passing out in different rooms and having different things happen in different rooms. Like, you need to understand the type of energy that you are entering into and will be interacting with.
Exactly.
And if you don't understand that, then that's just not the spot that you need to be at.
No, not at all. But this museum and Annabelle's case is blessed by a priest, I think, like every other week.
Oh my gosh.
Something like that, or at least every month for sure.
It needs that much upkeep?
Yeah. And I mean, I'm pretty sure I've read different things that the museum is open and then I've read that it's not. But even when it's not open to the public, a priest is still taken through there at least every month to continue to bless and keep all the things there.
Keep everything at bay.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Right? That's a lot. Anywho, well, that was the story of Annabelle.
I loved it and I hated it.
Yeah, so she's still there to this day. I don't know if someone figure that out for me because I'm very confused by it. Can we go see her or no?
I don't know. I thought Zach Bagans just bought her. No?
I'm pretty sure she's still at... I don't know.
Because I think he was trying to buy their entire museum.
That doesn't surprise me.
No.
Why would you want that, though?
He is like a modern Ed Warren. I 100% feel like Zach Bagans is a reincarnation of Ed Warren. That might be blasphemous to say, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
I see a lot of the same energy in both.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. At all.
I think they're born... I looked it up. I think it doesn't overlap enough. I think Zach was like 3 when Ed died.
Oh. I still think that it's possible, but that's just me.
Funny side note for
Yeah.
palate cleanser. Did you know that... I told you this the other day, but did y'all know that Zach Bagans and Holly Madison, like the ex-Playboy bunny, were engaged and may or may not be dating again?
What?
Yeah, which, okay, also makes sense because Holly Madison's a big spooky time girl.
Okay.
I would love to be friends with her because she's a big Disney girl and she's a big spooky time girl, and I think that would be perfect together. But she has a ton of haunted artifacts. She has a podcast where she talks about this stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they got together. But I was also like, really, Holly? You could do better, bae.
Yeah,
You could
definitely.
You could do better.
Definitely. Are you ready for your disturbing fact?
No, but I guess you're gonna fucking tell me anyways, because here we are at the end of the episode where these always go.
Absolutely.
That's enough out of you.
Too bad. This one I think is pretty mild.
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe to me, it's gonna be mild.
I feel like this is a lie, but go on. I feel lied to.
Why?
Fucking tell it to me and we'll see.
Fine. Okay. Ready?
No.
Your stomach secretes hydrochloric acid, which is a very heavy-duty acid that dissolves.
Acid?
Yeah, dissolves anything. Okay. For those who are really bad in chemistry, like I am.
I also hate the word secretes with a passion.
Secretes.
I hate it.
Well, your stomach secretes hydrochloric acid to digest your food and to disinfect itself from unwanted particles. The acid is so strong, it can digest your stomach itself. As a countermeasure, your stomach has to regrow its inner layer every 3 to 4 days.
Is that why I always have tummy issues?
Probably, yeah.
I'm the queen of tummy problems. I really want that sweater that says my tummy hurts right now, but I'm being really brave about it.
Yeah, that's definitely you. Yours is more of an intestinal problem, I think. Not a stomach problem.
But now I will only be thinking of that, so thank you.
You're welcome. I told you it's not that bad.
It's still yuccas.
Stop. Secretes.
Yuccas.
Secretes.
Yuccas! Anyways, if you like whatever the fuck this is, be sure to head over to our Instagram, which is WTF is that pod. Go over to our Linktree and do all the things and go to all of the streaming platforms and give us all of the likes and reviews and follows, and make sure to post on all those little forums about our podcast and tell all the people about us. And with that, just don't buy dolls from secondhand shops. They're probably not going to be good, especially if they're porcelain dolls. Or Raggedy Ann dolls, I guess. Bye.
Secretes.
I seriously want to know the logistics of how she moves.
I don't.